Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Connecticut at Your service. My name is Carmen Nieves, and I'm your host, and we come to you live each Tuesday at 6:30 through Soundview Community Media TV. And we bring, just like we do every week, individuals that are making a difference by who they are, what they do, and how they serve through their talent, their passion, and all of that. And today is no exception, everybody. So today you guys are going to meet a celebrity that's on TV, has done movies, and all of that. So my guest today is Mr. William Fulton. Will, how are you?
Great. Thanks for having me. How are you?
Go for it.
Just here, just doing it. Thank you for the opportunity to be here. It's been a great journey, and it's a pleasure to be here.
So thank you so much for being here. So I start the show the same way all the time.
Okay.
We want to know what makes you tick. Tell me a little bit about you, your family, what you do.
All right.
For a living.
For a living. All right,
and we'll talk about your art.
All right. So for a living, I'm a systems engineer.
What is that?
A system engineer is, I work at a managed service provider. If there's a desktop guy that comes to you, you have an issue with your computer, and if he can't resolve it, he escalates the issue, and I'm the guy that helps him resolve it. So I have a lot of cloud technology, Office 365, Azure, work with Microsoft, also with Apple products too. So so I'm a computer analyst in a way. So that's why they call a system engineer.
Okay.
Yeah.
We could have used somebody like you yesterday. We were trying to install my mother's TV.
Yeah.
Couldn't figure that out.
Yeah.
I can't even tell you how long that was. So you obviously had to, because that is all with computers and, and IT, right? That's the
correct.
title of that IT. Yeah. So kind of how did you get into IT? Because I've known you for a long time and you were doing something completely different.
I was doing something completely different. I was in the service. I did a total of 8 years together. 9 years. I did 6 years active duty, Army, and then I did 2 years National Guard. Got out, got a chemical job in Stanford, and we worked at Morton International. On the food packaging, the glue.
Yeah.
We made that, so it was a glue factory in Stanford. The job laid us off, and gave us an opportunity, because we were union, gave us an opportunity to get re-educated. From there, I went to Porter and Chester.
Okay.
While they were at Stratford.
From Stanford up here?
Yes, I went to Porter and Chester and Stratford. Ended up getting a computer degree and starting from there. So that's how I transitioned from Army, soldier, to chemical worker, to computer analyst.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
I can't tell you, I couldn't do it. I aspired to, but we didn't get that far. But thank you for what you do. Now, you recently, a birdie told me when I came in here that you're going to be starting a new position.
That is true. Bridgeport Rescue Mission. I'll be starting there on the 23rd. I'll be doing the same thing. Senior IT support, same thing. But I enjoy being part of an organization that gives back to the community, that has a community outreach, and Bridgeport Rescue Mission is one of those organizations. And
they've come and they've really grown.
Yes,
they've got that whole building now.
They have a new building. What used to be Park City Hospital, so they're right next to it. They renovated it. When I tell you, I walked in, I was blown away. I was like, I think it was a nursing home at one time.
It was like some kind of care facility. Yeah.
So I walked in, and brand new furniture, brand new floors, gutted out, and they have an outreach that they're starting out, reaching out to being a safe haven, basically, for women, infant, and children. So that's where we are right now.
Well, you're definitely going, and I will tell you, you're an actor. Imagine the stories that you can help tell.
That is true, because a lot of stories that I do tell or that I'm a part of are based on reality.
Lived experience.
Yeah. I mean, those, you got to tell the truth, right? And we have a platform to do so, and I want to be part of that platform. And being an actor, you get to embody someone else's dream, someone else's troubles or turmoil, torment, and just be able to get a chance to tell the story to people who may not have heard such a thing.
Or can't tell their own stories.
That's true.
And the narrative that you can tell.
Yeah.
So we're going to be playing a clip in just a little bit.
Okay.
But kind of, I really want to get into, because you've had a lot of growth. Because when we started talking today, we were like, I always wanted to do acting. And I would love to hear the story of how you started, because a lot of us have like this calling that we don't act on it. And how awesome it is that you were like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. Tell me how that happened.
I did a lot of soul searching, some spiritual inventory, moral inventory, and woke up one day and said, I think I want to pursue being an entertainer, in whatever form that takes. I wanted to be a model. I wanted to be an actor.
What do you mean you wanted to? You are.
Right, yeah.
Okay,
When at the time,
when
I was doing the inventory, I was checking. So I went down to a model agency in Manhattan, took a few shots, did a comp card, and I posted it.
What's a comp card?
Oh, I'm sorry. Comp card is like 5 different poses with your information on you: your height, your weight, your build, your name, of course, right? And then I posted on social media, and from there, started getting phone calls. They were like, "Hey, I know about this community play right here." The play wasn't staged at Bijou at the time, but it ended up being at the Bijou. So once I did that audition, started falling in place, and that was in 2020. The show took place in 2020, so late 2019.
Right in the COVID.
Yeah, right as soon as
Right
COVID
in the
hit.
dead smack of the COVID.
Yeah.
So we're gonna watch a clip, but before we play it, could you tell me what we're gonna see and what's
sure.
kind of happening in
So
the scene?
the name of the play, the name of the movie is called A Real Man's Love in a Woman's World by Tanya E. Randall. The story tells a story about how men and women interact, and how the difficulties in the journey they go through to get to the love part of it. So that's where it comes down. So right now, this clip, we're roasting a longtime friend of ours because his wife does not appreciate him. And that's why we're like, you're not getting it. Why are you still here? So that's where it comes down to.
So the name again is
A Real Man's Love in a Woman's World by Tanya E. Randall on YouTube.
Jackson, what did you say you saw in her again? Because all I can imagine is tales from the crypt. Woman in the neighborhood, and he still professes his love. Yeah, the hairdresser, the jogger who jogs by, the mail lady, the next door neighbor.
Yo, get out of my house, man. Well, let's go make this money, man.
My bad.
So is that how they reach you?
Yes. On my
So
Instagram.
we'll put that page up again a little bit later before we end. So if people wanted to just find you,
Yes.
and once we get ready to roll, because we always put it on YouTube, we'll put the link because you have another movie, or is this the same one that you sent me?
The one I sent you is the same one.
Okay, perfect, because that's like 2 hours, right?
Yeah, it's a 2-hour movie.
Okay, so that's exciting. So make sure that we watch it.
Yes. It's a lot of morals, a lot of ups and downs. It's definitely something to watch, and it's very entertaining. You will not be disappointed.
We say the teachable moments.
Yes.
And my husband, I was telling you before the show started, my husband and I have been together like 35 years. Yeah. And I know, right? Celebrate. And I was mentioning, yes, I'm very proud I have 5 grandchildren and 2 on the way.
Congratulations.
3 daughters, and we've been together for a long time, and love takes different shapes and understanding and,
Patience.
just listen, let me tell you, I don't know about you.
Perseverance.
But I'm really grateful to have somebody in my corner that kind of gets me and lets me be me. Is your family like that?
Yes. I have a young lady with me right now, the mother of my 5-year-old daughter. Her name is Tegan, and her mother's name is Shamika. We've been together, and it takes a village, right? And it even starts at home. I also have 3 other children. I have a daughter who's 36. She's in Cleveland. I have a son who is 27. He'll be 28 this year. He's in South Carolina. And I have another son, 22, and he's in Bridgeport. And he has a child. So he has a daughter that's a little over a year. So now I am a new pop-pop.
A new pop-pop.
Yeah, well, actually, I want to be called Papo. That's what I want to be called, Papo.
My husband's name's Papo. and our great children call us Neno and Nena.
Okay.
I don't know how we got there. I can't remember right now.
Right.
But so how does your family feel? And you have brothers and sisters too,
I have
right?
brothers and
Like your
sisters.
family's large,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, my family, I'm one of 7. I'm the oldest of 7, yeah. So I have a brother and 5 sisters.
5 sisters.
5 sisters.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's amazing. How do they feel about your work? Do they want to be in your movies? What?
Well, you know, they haven't they haven't really got to the point that they want. Verbally, they haven't told me that they want to be in a movie, but everyone is very supportive. And not only that, I have a host of cousins that are, you know, my sister, one of my sisters, Latoya, she is doing our DNA in our family tree, and so is my father's brother. He's doing art. So I'm finding out more and more. My family is constantly growing, you know, especially with Ancestry.com and 23andMe. I'm finding out so much more. You know,
That's
so, yeah,
amazing.
Yeah.
And where's your mom? Because your mom is not here.
No,
right?
no. My mother is in Charlotte, North Carolina, Concord to be exact, but she's in North Carolina. So is my other sisters. They're down there too.
That's amazing. So you have a large network.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. They
you could do your own documentary.
I've been thinking about it. Yeah,
I think that's amazing. So you have done, so we're here on Connecticut at Your Service. We're here with William Fulton, who is just an awesome individual that he's working for a nonprofit that helps the underserved. He's an IT specialist, he's an actor, he's a model, all these different things. So if somebody there's a lot of us that'll be like, I think I'm cute, but I'm not really that cute, but I think I'm cute for me. How do people get started? Like, what are some of the things you learned, some lessons that you were like, I wish I'd have known that sooner. I could have been like a star like 20 years ago.
Yeah, 20 years ago, right? The pandemic made a difference in everything. With auditioning, like when I went down to Manhattan, there's a thing now called self-tape auditions, where you tape yourself and send the audition in, which saves you time.
Okay, I've never heard of that. But
Yeah, that's the new wave as far as acting is concerned.
makes sense. People are working remote and all that.
Yeah, so they figured out how to remote their talent. I learned that I don't have an agent. I don't have a manager at the moment. However, I learned from the community theater, from other actors. There's a place called Backstage and Actors Access. So I started with Backstage. It's a subscription-based website, and from there I booked countless jobs.
So it's like you subscribe to them and say, I
subscribe.
want to be an actor,
Right.
and then they find you things?
Yeah, you know,
Okay.
so you know, and I mean, I was started off with no experience. You know, the community theater was great. I started building. When I would apply for these jobs, these gigs, I would tell them, hey, I'm new. This is what I want to do. Do you have a spot for me? And you know, you have to have a thick skin because you will face some rejection, and that's just part of the territory. But you know, once I got into a music video, and it was just like empowering, uplifting. You know how like, why haven't I done this sooner? And you know, and then when you get a good network around you, like-minded people, you know, there's no telling where you can go.
Do you belong to like these artist groups that you guys like help each other and support each other,
Loosely, you know, there's
attend
not.
each other's things, stuff
Yeah.
like that?
So there was and a lot of times I wasn't really getting paid. You know, it was like kind of like an internship, right? There's another young lady. Her name is Allie, cinema savvy. She's always looking for actors and actresses. Another platform you can use is going into indie movies, independent movies.
Tell me a little bit about that for people that don't know what is an
An independent
indie movie.
Indie movie is not necessarily budgeted like how you would say Hollywood, Screen Actors Guild. People get their own money together. they, crowd fund, GoFundMe, something to that effect. And then from there, build a budget so they can actually pay the actors, get the equipment, record, and upload it to a streaming service such as YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about, so you gave us some advice, so who did your headshots for you? Or that you did on that card? How did that?
That was at the agency. But however, you know what I found? If you find local photographers, I found one of my cousin. He was a photographer.
Listen, those are our first volunteers.
He was there. A young lady named Heidi. Heidzilla. Shout out to Heidi.
He's like, shout out to the people that made me.
Right. They made me who I am. And my Bill Duke said something. He said, "Don't wait for Hollywood to find you. Discover yourself." And I started believing in myself. My first photo shoot, I just picked an outfit, got a suit together, and she shot the location. We shot right downtown Bridgeport at Housatonic.
Okay.
Housatonic Community College, right on the rooftop. Great sky, skyline in the background. From there, I think I did one more. And once I did that, I started posting those, and I would use those pictures because she had a high quality camera, and I would use those in the backstage, and say, hey, I have this picture. They might not be top quality or top professional to their standards, but it shows an effort. And I went from there.
And that you're professional.
Yeah.
I can't even get the picture I want on my business card. And it's kind of like a big deal because now with social media and stuff with artistry and all that, like you see somebody's picture, then you see them in person and be like, those are completely different. So we're a live show, so we're going to take a call, Will.
Right.
Welcome to Connecticut at Your service. Do you have a question for our guest, Will?
Hi, yes. I was wondering how somebody would kind of like break into becoming an actor in Connecticut, if you have any advice or anything.
Absolutely. I started with a local community theater. I found the playwrights, and auditioned for them. I also suggest like film college students, they're always looking for talent because they're just like doing a thesis or anything to that effect. They have to do a film project, so they're always looking for talent. But I always started with backstage. That was definitely where I started. So it was like maybe $20 a month, or if you pay a yearly subscription, and build a little resume from there. But definitely start with your community theater, and also any film colleges. That's where I would start.
Other than those places, is there like places where they publish, like opportunities? I tend to see stuff on like Facebook, like.
Facebook has.
But you don't know,
there's a lot of Facebook groups you can join also. Facebook groups, if you're in Connecticut, a Connecticut film school or Connecticut actors. There's Facebook groups you can use. There's also any other social media. I don't know about TikTok so far, but once you start, and also use hashtags, and also Craigslist. Craigslist is another place. Under creatives and gigs, you can find people looking for talent.
How do you determine? I'm sorry, caller. I'm like asking all these questions. Did you have any other questions, or did Will answer your question?
Just any tips for becoming a better actor?
Becoming a better actor, classes. Definitely classes.
Have you taken classes?
I am starting to take classes. Actually, you know what I did? I took an online class with Backstage partnered with NY University Tisch School of Arts. So they're world renowned. And they have a program called Yellow Brick. Yellow Brick will teach you, and it's online. You don't have to worry about going into a school, into an institution. And they have different programs, like one for sneakers, one for acting, one for modeling, one for theater. So you'll learn all the nuts and bolts about it. But I would definitely do that, and also submit to any other classes any reputable classes, because you don't want to join anything. But yes.
Or one of the things we talked about earlier is even like creating your own project.
You can create your own, and especially nowadays with user-generated content, you find like a community access theater, right? Or studio, and find people who have interest in being behind the camera as well as in front of the camera. Build your own community, build a little crew, and then start running your own content.
That you control.
Yeah.
Anything else,
Thank
caller?
you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you so much, and thanks for calling.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So I love that. So we've talked a little bit about the different opportunities that people can explore. I love that. I love the fact about look for community theater, you know, because we don't know the ins and outs of that. Is
Right.
there any pitfalls that, you know, anybody that's looking to be an actor and trying Craigslist and social media and all these things too,
So glad you
make
brought
sure
that
that
up.
they're safe?
Yes, absolutely. You know, be leery of anything. You know, if it sounds too good to be true, it usually is. And if you start with the colleges, you can talk to people. People are among your peers, you know, and they will give you guidelines. Read. I did a lot of research. I read, I searched everything, you know, how to be an actor. Backstage has a lot of information, knowledge-based articles. You know, I started following a lot of actors who I respect. You know, Bill Duke, Denzel Washington. You know, just the bigger names, and just listen to what they had to say. And you know, just have your antennas up. That's how I would look at it all the time. Yeah.
And talk to people.
All
You
the
never
time.
know who knows who.
Yeah.
What do they say? We're like there's like 6 degrees
The
of separation
Yes.
between people, and so
Yeah.
you're gonna, and especially Bridgeport is so big, but it's
Yes.
really small
It's a
because
small
we're like the
town, but
largest
it's a lot of people.
know,
right.
city in the entire state, and you think you don't know nobody, and then you do.
Yeah.
You know, and I follow you on, you know, on Facebook, and I see, you know, I think you had some blue photo shoot that you did with like a baby blue. Like,
Oh yeah.
and he's like serious, and then he smiles, and he's serious, and then he smiles.
Yeah, that was the African outfit I used, and I used that because I wanted to at least get in touch with my African heritage, and there's an African shop that I bought it from right here in the community. And speaking to people in the community, I went to the Bridgeport Film Festival, the first one. I didn't go to the second one, but I went to the first one, and which was amazing in itself because we have the Connecticut base is like so much used to the New York based film festivals or film industries, and got in touch with a few people there, you know, just networking, right?
Absolutely.
And this gentleman named Edwin Escobar, he is now doing another short, and he's gonna, I don't know what, it's gonna be in March sometime before he releases
But
it.
in Connecticut?
It's gonna be right here in Bridgeport.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so film festivals is another way to go too. So anytime you have a local film festival, any theaters, any community theaters, film festivals, make sure you attend to it. It's been a great journey. I cannot complain. I cannot complain. You know, it's been three years, and you know, I've been on.
It feels longer for you. I don't know, maybe because I've known you
Yeah, it's been
a long
great.
time, and we were talking about how we're both from Stanford.
Yeah. Started
You
from
know,
there,
and
yeah.
when I said that quote from the village that I was telling
Southfield
you,
Village.
I was like, my husband says it all the time. I mean, I just think that, you know, so this show on purpose was really about how do we highlight and elevate individuals like you that are making it happen in the community, and not only giving people advice so that they can do that too and learn and not go through the same things. You know, I being a male actor, being a male actor of color, imagine a
And an
female.
older male actor at that. You know,
Well,
so,
if you think you old, we're not going to talk about what age I am, so we're going to leave that right there.
yeah,
But I
there's
agree,
challenges.
absolutely,
There's challenges.
absolutely.
There's discrimination out there, yes.
Do you tend to get like the same kind of roles, like?
Yes.
Yeah.
But you know, I mean, I can't play somebody who's 20. It's just not
No,
reasonable.
like not even if you get rid of the beard. No.
absolutely.
I think as long as I've known you, you've had a beard.
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah.
For the
you know,
most
it's
part.
not as full, but it was closer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's next for you? We've talked about so many different things. What's next for you? Like, what's on the horizon for what you want to do?
The next on the horizon, I would like to produce a film or direct a film. I know a few people. I want to get the experience behind the camera as well, because there are stories we got to tell. Being in Bridgeport and working, I worked at Lightbridge, which was formerly FSW. I've seen how they evolved. They've been around for almost 200 years, excuse me.
A long
Very
time.
long time, a couple centuries.
And they started as a like an orphanage
out in Fairfield.
back
That's
in
correct.
back in the
Woodfield,
day, yeah.
yes.
And they've morphed into providing supportive services for families.
They have a tremendous outreach to the community, and being in that environment, seeing how they dealt with mental health, how they dealt with youth activity after school programs, how they dealt with hard of hearing and deaf services.
I remember that.
You know, and even they were dealing with food deserts. I took a cooking class there. You know, so I mean, it's a great outreach. So being involved, there's a principle that I'm beginning to really embrace, and that is, you know, whenever you go to an environment, you try to leave it better than you found it, whatever it may be, whether it be your job, whether it be your home, or, you know, whether it be, you know, like I say, it takes a village. You know, you gotta start somewhere. So if you inherit something, try to give back and leave it better in the condition that it started. You know?
So we're already almost like out of time. Can you believe it?
I can't believe it.
So really quickly, if you could just share with us, how do we find you?
Okay.
And if people want to connect with you, ask you questions, or just follow you, how can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram. My Instagram is Will Fulton Jr. That's WILLFULTON JR. You can reach me there. You can DM me, and my email is the same. So it's willfultonjr@gmail.com. And I'll gladly answer any questions that you have.
I think that's amazing. And, you know, before we close, I just want to let you know that when you're talking about doing your project here, public access is the voice of the people. So if you have a story to tell, come and take the training. The training is free. And you can tell your story. Listen, they got cameras. We could do sound off sections. So let's really have a discussion about what's next, because I think that there's just a really great opportunity. So did I tell you you're going to learn a lot if you want to be a star, even if it's just yourself, even if you just want to showcase yourself. There's an opportunity for us to all grow and support each other as artists, and making sure that we're supporting. We want to thank you for joining us today at Connecticut at Your Service. We come to you live each Tuesday right here on Soundview Community Media TV. So make sure that you're coming on and follow us on YouTube. So we're going to put this interview and all the ones that we've done on YouTube. So just type in Connecticut at Your Service and the shows will come up. Make sure that you share, that you like, and that you support. And we'll see you next week right here on Connecticut at Your Service.